Hello everybody, what's going on? This is Word here, and I am very excited to bring you this series from IPL5. And this is going to be Genius versus C. Of course, playing as the Yellow Protoss in the lower left corner of Daybreak, he is Genius. And his opponent, the Blue Terran, in the upper right, playing for Team Liquid, he is C. And of course, C, Team Liquid's newest player, if I'm not mistaken. Coming from those Brood War roots and really bringing a lot of interesting strategies to the table. I don't know if you caught this game in IPL5, spoiler alert coming up between him and Naniwa, but he played a very interesting style against Naniwa, a mech style in fact, on Ohana, and he ended up winning, and it was absolutely amazing to see. It's very cool. Of course, Mech was very popular in Brood War, but obviously times have changed, strategies have changed in StarCraft 2, but it's cool to see C bringing it back, and, you know, maybe we'll see something like that from him. He definitely has a wide variety of strategies, but the same can be said about Genius. He is a serious build order maniac, and the thing about his builds is no one can execute them but him, man. He is just a top tier player. I mean, it hardly even needs to be said. Everybody has heard of Genius, and everybody knows that he is the man. Now, CC is about to get a wall off up there. Now, guys, if you haven't heard already, I am moving to a new YouTube channel, and that channel is youtube.com/wordcastsc2, and I hate to harp on it, but I really do want to get the word out there. If you are subscribed to my YouTube, my old YouTube, but not to my new one, please make sure to hop over. I really want to make sure everybody comes on over to the channel so you don't miss anything, because I will be using that channel exclusively very soon, the new one. And again, that's youtube.com/wordcastsc2. The link will be in the description. And, you know, if you don't want to miss out on any new casts from myself, please make sure to head on over. And if you're not subscribed to either of the channels, please subscribe to the new one. I would appreciate it because, you know, I just want to bring everybody all these casts, and I can't do it if you guys aren't around to see them. So that's it. Don't want to go on any too longer about it, but you know where to go. Now, it looks like C is opening with gas, and he is also blocking out that probe with Genius. Genius, meanwhile, just looking normal so far. Getting, oh, actually the probe does not get in. C being very bold there to get that scouting SCV out. But the probe did not manage to get in there. But as I was saying, Genius, just not doing anything unusual. Cybercore going down, looking like a 1-gate fast expand. Of course, that's the most normal thing for Protoss to do nowadays. Nothing too crazy. And looks like he's just going to sit out and scout. C going to be pretty brave with this Marine. Take a look, see if he can you know, scout out what his opponent is doing. And get rid of that probe, but looks like the probe is just a little bit faster, so he's going to be escaping here. And I'm assuming that Genius is going to be going for a 1-gate fast expand, nothing too crazy. Now, of course, he wasn't able to get in and scout his opponent. Now, we see C is actually laying down a factory, so that's very cool. He is going to be doing something crazy, and with only one gas, you know, this could be a lot of things. Could be Hellion drops, could be Uncloaked Banshee. We'll have to see if he gets that second gas. And right now, with Chrono Boost on the Warp Gate and the Gateway, it's looking like a quicker Nexus here from Genius. Now, in the PvT metagame, something that's fallen out of practice a little bit. Oh, E-Blade block going down there from C. I'll talk about that in a second. But something that's fallen out of practice a little bit is early gateway pressure. A lot of the times you'll see Protoss get 3 gates up after their expand, or maybe even 4 gates, something Sase like to do, and just go start punishing the Terran for skimping on Marines or anything like that. Not something you've seen lately, but I have seen a lot of players, not pro players, but very good players, start to work it into their game, and it's very exciting. So we'll see if Genius decides to do anything like that, and if of course, we saw C go for that eBay block there, and that's something every Terran should do if they see their opponent is skipping that Zealot, because they'll only have a Stalker out, and a Stalker takes a long time to kill an eBay. And we're also seeing Hellions coming out here from C. Now, this is unusual, but not necessarily weird. It's something I see Drewby do on his stream, and Hellions can catch a Protoss by surprise, because obviously Zealots can't chase them down, and Stalkers take a long time to kill them, so you need a Sentry to deal with Hellions. We'll see how quick Genius's reactions are. His Sentry will be finished by the time this comes out. And we actually have 2 more Hellions in production here for C, so he could be going into a meching style. I know I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. It's just 4 Hellions. I guess it's not too crazy, but I would like to see it. It would be very cool. Now, the 2 Hellions are going to be coming up from the north here, and this is the first that Genius is going to see. And is he going to be able to force through that ramp? Yes, it does go down. So these Hellions will not be getting any kills at this particular moment. We'll see how long they last. The Stalker not quite going to be able to chase them down. They are speedy little buggers. Meanwhile, the Warp Gate is finishing in. So if he needs to warp in another Sentry to force field his Hellions away, he can do it. However, that is going to slow down his tech, and that's something C is probably taking into account as well. Hellions, even if they don't do that direct damage, they will be good in that regard. And, oh, actually, there's only 2 Hellions here. It looks like he gave the reactor to the factory and is going into tank production, so he's going into a Marine tank style, and you know, it's a Brood War roots thing. This is a composition that was the good in Brood War, and it's still good, of course, in certain matchups here. You don't usually see it in TVP so much, But man, if anyone's going to be able to bring it in, it's going to be C. So this is going to be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing this. He does have siege tech on the way, so he is investing. That is for sure. Also has a third command center on the way as well. Army supply pretty low for these guys. We're just in the beginning portions of this game. Now, of course, we're seeing the standard Robo opening here from Genius, and some players like to go for a Templar tech opening, but the Robo is generally the safer because, especially if your opponent's opening gas, you want that observer, you want to know what he's doing, and especially when it's somebody like C who has such a wide variety of strategies. You need that scouting. So he is going to come in there with that observer. He's going to see the fast third as well. So we'll see how he decides to respond to this. Actually, a second observer coming up here, kind of a double scouting team, but he's going to see that fast third, and there's a couple of responses he can have to this. I mean, some players will, all right, I'm going to throw down my Colossus tech, and I'm just going to go for it, man. 2 Colossi Thermal Lance and a bunch more gates, and I'm just going to go for the kill. But it looks like Genius is in position to take a fast third. So respond to your opponent's fast third with your fast third. He's also seeing this Marine tank composition that C looks to be going for. So he knows that the move out is, if it comes, it's going to be slow. And likely he's going to be coming for a while because you don't really want to move out with just 2 tanks. So he's going to keep tabs on that, and he's going to feel pretty safe taking this third base. So I definitely like this from Genius. C, meanwhile, can choose to take that third base whenever he likes. We do see the Colossus tech is getting laid down there, and Immortals are great against tanks, but you do need those Colossi to deal with the heavy Marine count that your opponent is going to mix in with that. But as a matter of fact, C actually is adding on 2 factories here, so he will be going into full-on mech play, which is awesome. This is going to be really cool. It's going to be tough on Daybreak, though. There's a lot of angles that Protoss can come in and attack from, depending on where you are taking your fight. So I don't know how it'll work out, but we'll see if C has what it takes to get it done. We see Blue Flame on the way, getting that single engineering base, so that is likely just going to be for turrets then. He's not producing any more Marines at the moment. There's no reason to spend money on upgrading them. So he's just going to be going into kind of defense mode while he takes his third. Genius, meanwhile, he sees these Hellions that are up front. C just has, let's see, 10 Marines that was. And we'll see what he decides to use those for. Home defense at the moment, it looks like. A couple Hellions going to be coming in here, but Genius is in position to deal with them. Very good arming positioning and splitting. That isn't all of his army there right now, of course. Some of it is back at home, but, you know, maybe C thinks that's all he's got. It looks like he's moving out to aggress while he takes this third. Maybe he is just moving to kind of siege up the middle so we can protect all 3. The Hellion's going to poke in and see what they're dealing with, but it looks like it's not going to be enough to scare them away. C is going to continue to be aggressive here. Now the Marines and tanks are coming in. This is not the biggest army. Genius shouldn't have a problem dealing with it unless his army gets separated. But looks more and more like it could be a pincer move, so I don't think C should really push in here. His Blue Flame is about to finish, though. This is a good timing. The Zealot count is only at 3, so it's not like they are going to be melted away immediately by the Hellions, and then there's going to be no army left. It's really not a whole lot of army devoted to the Zealots there. And C's going to push in, but no, he is going to push back there, and that is exactly what he should be doing. Too much stuff to deal with there. Now, the third base is up and running at the moment. The couple armies are just finishing now for C. He's starting his +1/+1 double forge here for Genius. He's got +1/+1 on the way as well. And his upgrades, of course, are going to be a little bit quicker. He's got that Chrono Boost, and Forge upgrades come a little bit quicker than Army upgrades in general. Now, these guys are just kind of getting a Cold War going on here. Do see a little bit of action up in the north. Looks like the Hellions could be getting in position to run by. We got 4 Hellions there with Blue Flame, and that is very dangerous, but I definitely like the cannon placement here from Genius. He's got 3 cannons going up now in that mineral line. He has some in his natural as well. None in his main because he just doesn't. The Hellions are not going to get into his main. His army's in position to deny that. If they do get into the main, he can warp in, etc. But these, of course, are the vulnerable positions, and we see C here is actually getting a turret ring up, another Brood War style here, but I actually really like it here with this mech play. Of course, your mech army is very immobile, and say your opponent does decide to get a Warp Prism or any kind of shenanigans like that, and oh, we're going to lose 1 Hellion here, and maybe a second. Nope. Looks like Thermal Lance isn't done, but if your opponent decides to get frisky with a Warp Prism, oh, a couple more Hellions coming in. Every time I try to talk, these Hellions are going for a run by. That shows how active of a player C is. He's actually going to get in here with these Hellions. Going to start working on picking off some probes. How many is he going to be able to get? Is there another force field for this sentry? Doesn't matter. It looks like he's going to pick those off. 7 workers killed, though. Not bad. These Hellions up here going to be caught by this Zealot, but they are going to get picked off there, and a few more Hellions going to come down. So basically what I was saying is turrets are good because your army is immobile, and if there's a warp in your main, your tanks aren't going to get there very quick, so you just want to deny it outright. Meanwhile, the 4th base going down here for Genius. Sensor tower up for C, and I would prefer a placement a little bit closer on the main if he does have to worry about drops. Hold that thought. A couple more Hellions going to come in and get 1 or 2 more worker kills, not the biggest deal, but he does have to worry about attacks at the third, so maybe it's actually a 2 sensor tower sort of thing. The things that you want, but you can't afford. Meanwhile, the Zealots patrolling the map here for Genius, very good. Doesn't want to waste valuable robo time on those observers, instead using Zealots to patrol. Because, of course, the Zealot will not only see the Hellions coming by, but it will be able to slow it down just a little bit. And it looks like the attack is coming in from Genius. His army getting in position outside the third base here. Or outside the natural, I should say. Outside both of them. Technically, it's outside everything, but let's not get too technical. The army is just going to be gathering up, so he could be going for an attack on that third, and of course, one of the benefits of your opponent going Mech is if he sieges up, just go attack somewhere else, make him unsiege, make him get into that vulnerable position, but very good placement there from C is going to prevent any sort of Zealot run-bys or anything like that. 7 factories total. He is cranking out those Mech units, and the turret ring is very good. Should prevent any War Prisms coming in. We did have that War Prism out here for Genius, but it doesn't look like it has done anything. And now we're going to have 5 more Hellions going to be running in. There's the War Prism. Not quite making a move. The 5 Hellions are going to be making a move into this mineral line, though, and there's only 1 cannon, so they're not going to die too quickly. How many workers is he going to get? All the way up to 20 right now. 22 workers killed, and this is huge. 25 workers. Very nice run-bys here by C. And wow, actually down to 54 probes here for Genius. So, now, I mean, even if these Hellions aren't killing probes, which they are, you are pulling that army back. You're allowing yourself to get into that good siege position. That 4th command center is going to finish up really soon here for C, so he's probably going to want to take that 4th. And now he has the opportunity to do it because the Protoss was forced to pull back, and this poor Zealot patrolling didn't see the Hellions coming down. We are going to see Templar coming out here. We didn't see Storm Research, though, I don't believe. Let me check. Where is that Templar Archives here? And, okay, well, no, he's morphing them into Archons, so I have to assume it's no Storm. And, yeah, no Storm Research, so these Archons are going to be dynamite against the Mech Army. They're going to absorb a lot of tank and Hellion shots, and that's what the Army's made of. We got 20 tanks here, 6 Hellions, and a few Marines on the ground. A single medevac, possibly to drop Hellions. Doubt it's going to be to aid those Marines. And, in fact, we do see the medevac coming in here. Genius have full vision of it. It's just going to be the 8 Marines in there. No stim or anything. They won't be too dangerous, but left alone in the mineral line, they will be. However, Genius not going to let that happen. Warping in some units to deal with that, and now the fight could be coming. It looks like C is moving his army out onto the 4th at the same time that Genius is, and he should be able to deny this 4th. We see a lot of tanks sieging up here. But of course, Genius can just go attack the 3rd if he wants. Pushing in here might be a little dangerous. You see all those range lines. That is a lot of tanks, but oh, whoa. The drop some cleanup, but Genius is just going to go for it. Oh my god, he's going to go walk right into these tanks. Is it going to be enough? The Vikings here are going to work on these Colossi, but man, these Archons are absorbing so much tank fire, so little cost efficiency from the Mech Army, and wow, Genius is actually just going to pound his way through here, and this is why you don't see Mech so often in TVP. There are just too many options for the Protoss to really deal with that, and we see huge losses here for the Terran. That is at GG from Liquid Sea, and that is going to be the end of this game. But this is a best of 3, guys, so we are going to have at least 1 more game coming at you, possibly 2, so make sure to come over. Those games will be coming up right now. Thanks for watching, and word up.